Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. So today's video is actually a very short video. That's what I always say before all my videos end up being long. But I want to talk about becoming enough. That's the point of what I want to talk about today. And people have been asking me like, Maya, what do you have on your necklace? What do you have on your necklace? And what's on my necklace is you are enough. Now, when people who are not conscious, when people who are not aware, when they see the words you are enough, they don't understand what it means. So they think that some of them ask me, you are enough for who? Or you are enough for what? And some are even so completely clueless. I don't want to use the word dumb, but so clueless that they actually say, are you enough? And usually now, before I would get offended, but now I just take it in stride and I understand that people are asleep and human beings are either conscious or we're unconscious. So the more emotionally intelligent you are, the more you are conscious, the more you can say that you are connected to the God consciousness inside of you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So normally the word you are enough, anybody who is into emotional intelligence, anybody who is into mental health, anybody who is into discussions of self-esteem, know that when they see the words you are enough, it means that it's an affirmation to the person wearing it that they are good enough. So in other words, you don't need to be anything else. You don't need to get validation from another person. You don't need someone else to tell you that you are good enough in order for you to know that because you have life inside of you, therefore you are good enough. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. Like, if you guys are understanding, some people think that they will be good enough when they have that job, when they have a husband, when they have a wife, when they have money, or when they have, a lot of things that they have on the bucket list. But the truth is that as a human being, the fact that you're breathing and you are living in itself is enough. That makes you good enough. That makes you worthy. So anybody who comes into your existence to make you feel less than good enough, I want you to know today, if you're watching this video, that that person walks in darkness. And the journey that has to be with knowing your self-worth, knowing that you are worthy regardless of what your circumstances look like right now, it is a journey of light. So anything that is not in affiliation with light is in what? Is in darkness. So I just want you to know that today, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys, that before any experience, it could be maybe rape, it could be financial problems, it could be a divorce, it could be accident, it could be something that had to do with your health. Before any of that experience affected your idea of self, affected your idea of who you were good enough. When you came into this earth as a child, you were good enough. When you started to grow and to have experiences, maybe your parents were negligent, maybe your parents were not emotionally intelligent enough to be there for you, maybe you faced an abusive background, maybe you faced sexual trauma. All of this can make you feel like a dollar note that has been crippled, and then you feel like, okay, I'm crumbled, I'm rumpled up, so I'm not good enough. But the truth is that you are good enough and you are worthy regardless. And so some other people also think that, okay, if people think that I'm this, I'm that, people have this checklist for people. So people are the one who can tell me that I'm good enough or not. But the truth is, another person's idea of what it would take to make you enough does not make you enough. If you look in the mirror and you say to yourself that, you know what, I may not have A, B, C, D, and D, but because that I say that I'm enough, I'm enough. So another person's idea of what it would take for you to be worthy does not make you worthy. You're worthy irrespective of people's opinion of you. And the more you validate yourself, the more you tell yourself that you're worthy, the less attached you will be to what other people think of you, the less attached you will be to what people hold as opinions about you. Because guess what, darlings? People's opinion of you are almost always going to be wrong. You know why I say that? Because they don't work in your reality. So their opinion of you is going to be based off their perception. In psychology, we say that perception is reality. So they might have heard a thing or two about you, or they might look at you and think that, okay, a person who looks like this should be like this, or would be like this, like this. That's their perception. That's not who you are. And that's why people say don't judge a book by its cover, because most times you would be wrong. So I hope that it sinks in today. If you take nothing else from this video, take the fact that you are good enough. And I am really hoping to use my platform as Face of Culture International to be able to help teenagers and help young people out there assess that inherent self-worth inside of them, because it's already inside of you. And it's a lack of self-worth that leads to issues like depression, that leads to issues like anxiety, that leads to issues of mental health, that leads to issues of suicide. Because when you don't think that you're good enough, when you don't think that you're worthy, you begin to feel repressed. And wherever there is a repression of the self, there is a repression of, your inner child, there is a repression of your emotions, there's a repression of who you are, because you're scared that, okay, if I act in this way, people will think that this, people will think that. Wherever there is a repression of the self, there is depression. And that's why depression has to do with letting go of these energies and letting them just flow out of you. There is something we call the crown chakra on top of the head. In psychology, depression has to do with being able to let go of these emotions, maybe through journaling, through videos, through therapy, and all the emotions that you have experienced. Maybe anger. At times you were supposed to show anger, you did not show anger. When you were supposed to say no, you did not say no. You let people walk all over you. You've had these experiences. Healing has to do with facing that these experiences happen to you, but that they don't control your life anymore. So regardless of whatever may have happened to you, regardless of what your circumstance may look like right now, if you take nothing away from this video, take the fact that you are good enough, you are worthy. And to you, the unconscious watcher, the one who is sleeping, know that when you see the words "you are enough," it does not mean that the person is trying to be enough for anybody. They are enough for themselves. They are good enough for themselves. Therefore, they don't have to do anything to receive validation. They don't have to do anything to measure up to the status quo, so to say. Because just as they are good enough. And just as you are just perfect like that. And even if you think you're imperfect, it's perfectly perfect to be imperfect. So leave a like and share this video with your friends and comment below. Let me know what you think. And if you want more psychology videos like this. Thank you for watching as always. It's Maya. Bye for now.